Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. I firmly believe that investing in cryptocurrencies can result in a fast track to financial freedom for tons of people, for those in the know who invest wisely. Now, I want to be clear that I don't have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice, and you should not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. I just think it's fun to talk about these things and engage with the XRP community because, after all, this is an XRP-centric channel, and it's fun to make YouTube videos on the topic. So I'm smashing a couple of my interests/hobbies together, and that is all that it is. So I just don't want anyone to get an idea that I'm some sort of like financial guru. Again, not a background in finance whatsoever. Just somebody that's an enthusiast within the XRP community here. But I'm happy to share my opinions. I'll be transparent to a certain point. And although I've been open about the fact that I'm not counting on any sort of crypto returns resulting in what I would consider my retirement money, and I mean that. Like I am every single penny that I put into crypto, including XRP, I just pretend that it's gone forever, because I figure if I can't do that, then I'm over-investing. That's how I feel for myself. That's how I treat it. That said, I think that my crypto holdings, and I think the price of XRP specifically, will be worth substantially more than it is today. It's at some point in the future. And I really do believe this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. It could be once-in-a-multi-generation opportunity because you're talking about the birth of a brand new asset class. We haven't had a new asset class in hundreds of years, quite literally. And here is one now, and it's so illiquid that you barely have to put any money in to get a doubling, tripling, quadrupling, and so on type of effect into these cryptocurrencies. It barely takes any money for it to happen, and I firmly believe that they're here to stay. And so there are a few pieces on this topic I want to share with you, including this one from the Daily Hodl. Bitcoin billionaire Chamath Palihapitiya explains strategy for attaining financial freedom. And he's definitely pro-crypto, Bitcoin specifically. I don't think he's into altcoins at all, so, look, nobody's perfectly right about everything, but altcoins are here to stay too, my friend. I think most of the cryptos we have at this point are going to go the way of the dodo, my favorite extinct avian creature, but whatever. And then there was this from the Daily Hodl. A race to launch Bitcoin and crypto services will now spread through banking industry, says Galaxy Digital's Mike Novogratz. And I see these headlines and I read these pieces, and to me they legitimately get me excited because I know that I'm here first before all this was built out. You know, it's insane to me having this particular opportunity, and I am thrilled to be here. And I think it's all going to be great for XRP. And so then there was this piece. Sources. PayPal is looking to acquire crypto companies, namely BitGo. So there you go. PayPal is really jumping in. Whatever you think about them not offering XRP at the start and not allowing users to withdraw their cryptocurrency because they're not given access to the keys. Whatever you think about that, still, it's a big name. It could end up being a net positive, and it certainly could. And they're really jumping in, snatching up other crypto companies. Anyway, before I share any additional information, if you would please ever so delicately tap the like button, I'd appreciate it. And also go ahead and subscribe to the Moon Lambo channel if you love your mama, because she wants you to be happy. And if you subscribe to the Moon Lambo channel, words are hard, you will find true happiness. There are scientific reasons for that. Let me show you. All right, into this first piece now. What'd you have to say, Mr. Palihapitiya? A Bitcoin billionaire and founder of venture capital fund Social Capital, Chamath Palihapitiya, is sharing his strategy for attaining financial freedom. In a new interview with Shane Parrish of the Knowledge Project, Palihapitiya says building a network of people with shared values and a shared sense of identity and working toward a common goal can provide a strong foundation that individuals can leverage to achieve financial freedom. And so here's a quote. To me, if we can give people a more reasonable roadmap where they can execute it, they can learn, and they can have a community of other like-minded folks that can put in the time and work and help each other 5, 10, 15, 20 years to compound capital, no matter how small. But just to start, I think you'd be surprised at how many people are intellectually capable of achieving financial freedom on their own. And in that, I think there is a path out of this kind of very depressing state that we're in. And so that rang true with me because it makes all the sense in the world to save for the future, right? It's not that hard, right? Save money, so live beneath your means, Don't go into debt. Save money. Like it's not rocket science. If you do this, even if you're just investing in the stock market, history shows that you'll end up doing just fine. I just it just popped in my head. It was a completely unrelated YouTube channel, nothing to do with crypto, but a video popped up in my recommended list, whatever the hell it's called. And there's this interesting story about this guy. He lived to be 92, and he was a janitor for pretty much all of his life. He never had a high-paying job ever. And when he died, he had $8 million. And you know how that happened? Compound interest, my friends, the eighth wonder of the world. If you don't know what that is, please Google compound interest. It is life-changing if you are unaware of it. Please make yourself aware of it. It's just the idea of investing and holding for the long haul and not getting shaken out. Like in the stock market, really. I mean, it was really, I think they said it was just blue chip stock. Like that's all that he invested in. And he just kept steadily putting his little bit of money in, and he lived very frugally. And then he ended up amassing a fortune of $8 million. And so that's the neat thing about this. I think so many people don't realize that you can achieve financial independence, financial freedom. It's just live beneath your means and invest. It compounds. It really does. And you don't ever have to make a fortune. You don't ever even have to make six figures. If you start young enough, invest regularly, live beneath your means, you can become extremely wealthy. You can become a multimillionaire. But too many people want their stuff right now, and I get it. And that's the it's to me, that's not the adult way to approach it. I'm just sharing my humble opinion. But if you're the type that's willing to invest and forego, getting the endorphins hit by purchasing stuff now, if you're able to forego that in the short term, you can amass tremendous wealth in the long term. But and then ultimately down here you can see, I don't want to go through the whole thing, but he put out this tweet, and it kind of gets onto like the whole crypto thing here. On October 19th, he simply wrote, HODL, HODL, all caps. That's it. And so he certainly remains very bullish on Bitcoin specifically. Now take a look at this from the Daily HODL. Race to launch Bitcoin and crypto services will now spread through banking industry, says Galaxy Digital's Mike Novogratz. I can't stress how much of a huge deal I personally believe all of this is. It's speeding up. The rate of adoption is speeding up. And so even if you're not seeing crazy price action today, it's like seeds are being planted. And these are important seeds. And so if you fast forward another year, who knows what this is going to look like? But as more and more big names come in, I think it could be rather substantial here. And so I do think Bitcoin will, for now, continue to lead the market. But that's okay. I think I firmly believe, again, none of it's financial advice, but I do believe that XRP will follow in Bitcoin's footsteps. And I think that that's going to result in tremendous multiplier effect in terms of price. And that's why I always say, and I mean it would be super duper weird to me if XRP never hit its all-time high ever again. And in addition to that, if it never entered price discovery ever again. Wacky world. Unless something terribly unforeseen and horrendous happens with the XRP blockchain or adoption of XRP that I just couldn't even imagine. Outside of something like that, it would be super weird to me if that never happened, because right now, the way people are treating the space is altcoins simply follow Bitcoin. Let's not overcomplicate this. That is what's happening. So all this big picture adoption of crypto in general is a huge deal, in my humble opinion. So let's jump in. Ex-hedge fund manager and chief executive officer of Galaxy Digital, Mike Novogratz, says news of PayPal's crypto adoption will inspire all banks to cater to Bitcoin and crypto. On Wednesday, payment services app PayPal announced it will soon allow users to purchase, sell, and store cryptocurrency on its platform, starting with Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, Litecoin, and Ethereum. Novogratz says he expects the announcement to trigger a chain reaction that forces banks to face crypto's huge potential. And here's a quote. This PayPal news is the biggest news of the year in crypto. All banks will now be on a race to service crypto. We have crossed the Rubicon, people. It's exciting day. Yeah, and so despite how harsh I've been on PayPal, I think deservedly so, for not listing XRP right out the gate, which I think is just pure silliness. If there's a reasonable argument, somebody point it out, and I'll be happy to cite it on the channel, but I haven't come across a damn thing. But despite that being the case, and the fact that you can't hold your own freaking keys, if I had to guess, I still suspect that this is going to be a net plus. PayPal, because if I had to guess for fun, I'd be willing to bet at some point they will change it, and you will be able to withdraw your keys or your crypto rather, and have your own keys in the future. I'd be willing to bet. I don't know if that's going to happen. It could be wrong, but I suspect that'll be the case. And even outside that, though, what he's stating here, Mike Novogratz is stating, rings true to me, which is that it's going to get other people interested in moving forward in the space. PayPal is a trusted household name. That's a huge deal, even for just us as XRP holders here. Like, recognize this is all connected, my friends. Now, Novogratz has been foreshadowing Bitcoin Bank adoption prior to the PayPal announcement. And earlier this month, Novogratz spoke with journalist and DeFiance? Do they mean to write DeFinance podcast? DeFiance? That's got to be a freaking C students writing articles, crypto me. I didn't catch that last time when I read this. DeFinance podcast. That has to be with host Peter McCormick. God damn it. About the factors that have led to his increased belief in Bitcoin and the next steps toward a more universal adoption of the asset. And here's a quote. Bitcoin's now gone through the great crash of 2018 and re-emerged from that crash. And I think we had a huge inflection this March/April with COVID, in that COVID gives such a strong macro backdrop to the hard asset story and to the Bitcoin story in particular. And we went over the Rubicon, or we went over the hill in terms of it being an established asset. Bitcoin is now a legitimate macro asset. 2 years ago, it was in what I call the venture sandbox. When you're thinking about mom and pops, when you're thinking about institutions that have a fiduciary responsibility, they need a lot of surety to get there, and Bitcoin's made it. I always tell people Bitcoin's price would be a ton higher if it was easy to buy. You can't call Goldman Sachs or Morgan Stanley or JP Morgan or E-Trade or get on the phone with your broker and say, buy me some Bitcoin. And ironically, we're pushing those guys to get involved. We're starting to see that shift quickly. So I think in 1, 2, 3 years, you'll see all those guys getting involved. It's really customer demand that will drive their action. See, is that not a legitimate reason to be excited? Because I think he is absolutely hitting the nail on the head. And so really whatever your cryptocurrency is at this point, given that everything follows Bitcoin, at least for now until that changes, like whatever you are bullish about in the world of crypto, holy hell. Think about the multiplier effect that can happen as a result of all these institutions and additional retail adoption that to me just seems like it will inevitably be here, right? Now take a look at this. Sources. PayPal is looking to acquire crypto companies, namely BitGo. On Wednesday, PayPal shocked the crypto industry when it revealed that it would be directly supporting digital assets by adding the ability to purchase and sell Bitcoin, Ethereum, and other altcoins. The announcement also indicated that the firm would be supporting cryptocurrency payments between its merchants and the retail users it supports. That's actually not active initially, so if that does happen at some point, it would be presumably maybe in sometime in 2021 if that ends up happening. But as it stands right now, and I covered it on the channel, no, the answer is no, that's not happening. But Bloomberg reported just minutes ago that PayPal is looking to acquire crypto asset companies, namely BitGo. BitGo is one of the space's biggest custodians, servicing the Wrapped Bitcoin project along with funds and service providers. It has been invested in by Galaxy Digital, Goldman Sachs, Jump Capital, and other firms in and out of Wall Street. The Bloomberg report cites people familiar with the matter of PayPal's plans. The firm acquiring BitGo would likely allow it to provide custodial services to its retail clients, along with potentially more institutional clients that are looking to dabble in digital assets. And so the people said that PayPal may seek to acquire other companies if the BitGo talks fall through. Yeah. What do you think this is going to look like? All these companies, how many companies are going to get gobbled up throughout this whole process? Because I'm telling you, like when you're talking about an asset class that's truly in its nascency like this, you think there's not going to be additional consolidation coming. And if a lot of these companies that offer legit services and maybe even products get gobbled up by household names, my gosh, imagine what this could look like and the rate of exponential adoption as a result. So we shall see. But that is it for this video, my friends. I am not a financial advisor. Do not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.